Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to London. Welcome to Founders Council Live. I'm Andy Smith. I'm the General Manager of Amway here in the UK. I'm delighted to be joined in the studio this afternoon by Audra Davies, our Vice President of Product Development. That's not an easy job title. Welcome. And of course, Dr. Sam. Welcome, Dr. Sam.
Again, yeah.
Great to see you in London. And first of all, how are you enjoying London so far? You've been here for a few days now with Founders Council.
It's so lovely. We're waiting for the sun to come out.
Hey, you had the sun on Sunday. We get one day a month of sunshine, and you had it on Sunday. So we're back to normal London weather. We're having a great time.
Yeah.
Great to have you here in London. So let's start, Audra, with the wellness, the Well campaign. And in 2014, Amway announced a gift to Stanford University, right?
That's right.
To support a new study. So can you describe what Well is to all our guys out there?
Great. Well, we are so excited. In September of 2014, to coincide with Nutrilite's 80th anniversary, we announced an unrestricted research gift to Stanford University to fund Well. And Well, very simply, is the Wellness Living Laboratory. This is a one-of-a-kind, first-of-its-kind, long-term research study focused on wellness and healthy aging. Very exciting. It will be groundbreaking research that will really extend the field of wellness and our understanding of what it takes to keep people not just living longer, but living well and really thriving into their elder years.
Wow, that's really, really interesting. What makes it unique in the industry, Audra, and to the everyday folks out there?
It's a great question because there has been years and decades of research, but interestingly, much of the research has focused on disease and the reduction of disease symptoms and characteristics. This body of work focuses solely on wellness, and we're looking at what is keeping people well. And this study will evaluate a whole host of different factors that will include dietary intakes, physical activity. We'll be studying people in different cultures, so we'll get a sense of environmental differences, cultural differences and cultural influences. So it will be a very powerful study. And the other aspect of this that is also extremely unique, thousands of people spread across multiple geographies and studied for years at a time. Most of the studies that exist today focused on very short-term time frames, several weeks or maybe several months, and maybe only a few hundred people. So this study, thousands of people, multiple years, multiple geographies. It will be very powerful in giving us some really important insights about wellness.
Wow, what a study.
It's
how many different countries?
Right now, we are starting the study with the United States, China, as well as Taiwan.
Right.
The long-term vision for this study is that it will extend to many other countries around the world as well.
Yeah. And for a longer period of time, as you say, Audra,
Absolutely.
into the upcoming years.
Yes.
Okay, wow, fantastic. So Dr. Sam, why is Well important in terms of the long-term value of the study?
Well, this goes back to the origins of the company. My father pondered some of these questions almost 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago, in China, when he lived there, and he pondered on the fact that the people who lived in the farming areas appeared to be much healthier than the people in the big cities. They had more exuberance, more intelligence, and he wondered the difference between that and the people who live in the big city. So that started him thinking and studying a plant-based diet and the importance of it, and that led to his early concepts of supplementation and his interesting study of the holistic approach to health that's very common in the Orient, and began his thinking process on a product that one might add back to the deficient diet to bring it into balance.
Right.
And started a whole series of studies. So wellness is a huge part of what we're all about, and we think that this study is going to really generate some information that will really help us bring that awareness of the importance of wellness to the attention of people all over the world. It's a huge deal because today the costs of not having proper wellness is creating healthcare costs that have gone beyond people's imagination even. In the United States alone, we're spending now $3 trillion a year on healthcare costs. $3 trillion.
Wow.
That's a lot of dollars, right?
Wow.
86% of those are due to what we call chronic disease. And chronic disease, by definition, is a disease that's not started when you're 40 or 50. It starts the day you're born because of improper optimal health, improper eating habits. And these were the things that captured my father's interest 100 years ago. So this study is going to really enable us to really get a handle on massive groups of people who we will be tracking for the duration of their life, really, from very young to very old, tracking on how they're doing in all the wellness parameters. So we can really get a fix on how we can better help people achieve optimal health around the world.
Wow. What does wellness mean? I guess some people might be thinking wellness, we talk a lot about that, very much so at Amway with Nutrilite. How would you define wellness? Is there a way of doing that?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Go ahead.
Yeah. There's many institutions and universities around the world that have defined wellness, and they define it in terms of multiple dimensions. So they think of wellness in terms of their spiritual and emotional well-being, your environmental interaction and influences, your dietary influences, physical activity. There's a whole host of factors that really contribute to your overall state of wellness. Very simply, when we think about wellness at Nutrilite, it's about optimal health. And we've talked about optimal health for years, and the importance of paying not just attention to what you're consuming in terms of your diet and supplementation, but your lifestyle factors, physical activity, and your mindfulness as well. So it's really that holistic state of wellness.
And you never want to forget that it's the key in all of this, which my father noted 100 years ago, that the goal was to enable people to live to their optimum age and have optimal performance throughout their duration of their life. With enthusiasm, achieve their potential, whatever it might be, whether it's in academics or sports, but to fulfill their human potential and have healthy children. At the period of old age would be very short, okay? So that's the goal in all of this, and that the cost then of sickness and disease can be minimized and not be such a drain, the magnificent drain that it is right now on the economies of people all over the world.
That's a great message.
It is.
The holistic approach to wellness.
Right.
Really interesting. Why did Amway see a benefit in being part of Well? I mean, because it's a big investment, a big commitment from Amway.
It's a huge commitment from Amway, and we are so grateful for the incredible work that our Amway business owners around the world have been doing that have really enabled this investment into this groundbreaking research. And the importance to Amway is really quite simple. We're all about helping people live better lives. And what better way to help people live better lives than to contribute to the understanding of what keeps people well. And by understanding that, we can help our ABOs to further position the products, the social connectivity that we offer, the relationships through our business that ultimately also, I believe, contribute to wellness.
Okay, wow.
And to focus on keeping healthcare costs to a minimum, so people can use the money for more productive purposes in the economy and the things that they want to do in their lives. So that's what it's all about. And it's something that Stanford's been very interested in since the very beginning. We've worked with Stanford really going back to the 50s and did the very first study there in the importance of what children had in their daily diet impacted their intelligence quotient. Okay? That was back in the 50s. And this evolved then into a whole study of disease prevention. And Stanford led in this whole arena. And through the earlier contributions of the Van Andel and DeVos and Rehnborg families and the two companies, we established the first chair in a medical school anywhere in the United States focusing on disease prevention. And what is that? That's optimal health. And that was started many years ago, and the results of that have been extraordinarily positive. And Stanford's wanted to do a project like this very much so they could get a more complete handle on what wellness is all about. So therefore you can design optimal health programs that can help people achieve optimal health for the duration of their life. From birth to death.
And how do you think the findings will help the Nutrilite business, the Amway business?
I think the findings are going to be helpful on so many levels. Firstly, I think it will provide additional insight into the importance of ensuring that we're filling dietary gaps. we will take a very close look at what people are eating as part of this study, focusing largely on fruit and vegetable intake and ultimately phytonutrient intake. It will further our understanding about the phytonutrient gap that exists on a global basis and how that gap contributes to overall wellness. The other aspect of this study is it will also help us to identify future targets for new innovation and future products in the Nutrilite portfolio.
Right.
We're fully expecting that we're going to identify some new and interesting wellness biomarkers that will help us to understand, are we on the right trajectory for wellness and optimal health? And that will provide really valuable new insights for new products.
Yeah, and that's so exciting for our business owners.
That's our fundamental purpose, isn't it? To help people live better lives, happier lives, more fulfilling lives, active lives, and do things for people that are less fortunate too. So we cover the whole spectrum. And so it's an extraordinarily exciting and rewarding project that we're
So if I'm an ABO, how do you think this could help my own health and my business in general?
Well, it's going to give you ammunition so you can really help to point to the studies that have been done, showing what well people do and what their mentality is. Most people know that, you know, eating a plant-based diet, exercising, thinking right, those are all valid. The question is, how can you get people to embrace those? And this kind of a study then will give solid information, so for people who are concerned about this can understand the significance of embracing optimal health at a very early point in their life and the steps that they need to take so they can achieve optimal health for their entire life. And that the period of old age, again, is very short.
Yeah, right. Yeah. This is really exciting news, right?
It is.
Yes.
How can I share this with, if I'm an ABO, with my group? Is there a way of us, you know, letting people know this is happening? Obviously, we're kind of talking about it with our Founders Council here in London.
Right.
What's the best way of us sharing this out amongst our...
Well, it's happening right now with this broadcast, I think. But we're also going to be doing publications, and there will be wellness summits that will be conducted as the years progress. So this is not a short-term study. This is a long-term study, and it's going to put Amway in the position of being one of the leaders in this extraordinarily important part of the destiny of the world, helping people to take charge of their lives from a health perspective, okay? And really understanding all the elements and components of that so that people can embrace it and live their lives to the fullest. So it's a big thing for Amway, big thing for us, and we're going to be very busy.
I was going to say.
Yeah, it's extraordinary exciting.
This is going to be really exciting, but very busy at the same time.
Yeah, very busy.
Yeah.
And it starts with a simple conversation.
Right.
Do you want to live long or do you want to live well?
Both.
Both.
Please.
That's
And
right.
this research will really provide the insights into how to do both and do them extremely well. And we will be posting all sorts of wonderful news about this study through social media. We will point people to the Stanford website on this study. So there will be lots of great sources of information about this study as well as progress on the study.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing I'm very excited about, it's going to help people recognize that the answer to optimal health rests within themselves. People taking charge of their lives from a health perspective. And that's not just a short-term thing, that's a lifetime thing. And if people take charge of their life for their whole life, that their opportunity to fulfill their own human potential goes up exponentially.
Yeah, but you can start now.
You got to
start
start
right now.
Yeah, the earlier you start, the better. That's why we have a Power of 5 and all the other things that go along with this to make sure that children all over the world get a fair chance at achieving their optimal potential.
Yeah. And possibly some new Nutrilite products coming down the track with all the research feeding into the product development, I guess.
Well, that's one of the great aspects of this. Well, we'll be having these 10,000 people in the different cohorts, right? So we'll be tracking people over a long period of time. You can go in and pick out groups of these people whom you know what they've done in the past, test new products and new concepts on them, and then track them into the future. So you'll have data that's really solid that will hold up to scientific scrutiny. A lot of the stuff you see in the press these days is based on short-term studies, and you can read they're very variable and not worth very much. This will be solid data that will stand the test of scientific scrutiny. So very exciting stuff.
Wow! And can you do some research here in the UK? We need help here.
Absolutely.
We need help to be more healthy, more fit, to exercise more.
Well, I've met some of your exciting, distributors in this part of the world.
Yeah.
And the thing that's always appealing to me is they are embracing it and recognizing that the most important thing you can do to sharing this with the people of the UK is to be the product of the product.
Oh, for sure.
And that's the answer to this whole thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
our goal in all of this is to generate a whole population of people that have embraced it and are living the optimal health message.
That's wonderful.
Right.
And on that note,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us
Thanks
in
for
the
having
studio.
us.
I know
Thank
everybody
you.
tuning in will get so much out of that.
Well,
Good luck. Sorry,
you.
Dr. Sam.
No, that's good. Thank you.
And good luck going forward, and keep in touch. Let us know how it's going.
We will.
So from Audra, from Dr. Sam and myself, tune in fairly shortly for John Parker is going to be joining us here in the studio, our Chief Sales Officer, to talk about the world of sales at Amway and how we're partnering with our ABOs. So in the meantime, thanks again, Audra, Dr. Sam. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
It's been wonderful. Thank you.